All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. I want to welcome everybody here. First, we're going to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Dixon,
Who? Yeah.
present.
I didn't understand it.
Commissioner Engelke,
Here.
Who? Chad?
Commissioner Yeager, absent. Commissioner Little, here. Commissioner McGann,
Here.
Commissioner Stapleton,
Here.
Commissioner Stokes, Commissioner Vidal,
Vidal here.
Okay,
Okay.
so, thank you. Now we are looking at the previous minutes, when y'all have a chance to look over them, and we just need a motion.
I see where I'm absent last meeting. I thought I was here. When was the meeting?
You were here last meeting.
Yeah.
no,
That's
that
my,
was-
that's
That's
my
why we
error.
voted. What?
That was the meeting we had, there was only four of us here, I mean, five of us here.
Mr. Stokes, me. Yeah, and, Commissioner Yeager was here.
Mr. Yeager, yeah, she wasn't present at that time, because that was the one we were discussing, the hookah bar.
Hookah bar.
Hookah bar, that's right, that's the hookah bar.
Right.
I was here.
No.
I had, Mr. Dixon,
I might not.
Ms. McGann, and Ms. Vidal absent.
Yeah, there was only five of us,
Yeah.
five of us here, so that is correct.
Because you had to break the voting tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a tie.
Yep.
That's right.
Anyway, if anything else, and otherwise I think we need to make a motion.
Okay. My name is Janice.
I will correct that, yes, ma'am.
Thank
My apologies, I will correct
No
that, Ms.
problem at
Vidal.
all.
Do we have a motion for approval?
Didn't you make a motion?
No, she was
Here.
trying to make a correction. She hadn't made a motion.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes.
We have a motion to approve the minutes, a second. Roll call?
Dixon,
Yo. President, okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Engelke,
I don't.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeager, absent. Little, yes. McGann,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Stokes. Vidal,
Abstaining. Vidal.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's.
Minutes approved?
Yeah.
All right, we have no old business. Under new business, there is no rezoning issues. Our first case is for the subdivision, case number 2052 SD, the I-55 Horn Lake Distribution Preliminary Subdivision. Mr. Barber.
Yes, sir. So this particular report will be located on page 13. I have them backwards, attached them to your packets backwards. So this is your planning packet, page 13. And this is the proposed I-55 Horn Lake Distribution Subdivision. They're requesting preliminary subdivision approval on 42.6 acres. And there are three zones associated with this site. The bulk of it is zoned M1, but there is a section of C1 and C2. And John Mark, if you could roll that to planning packet page 13, would be the red number at the top of the page, 13. The site is located, it's east of the intersection of Camelot and Hurt Road, it's west of Wallace Lane, and it is south of Goodman Road. What they're proposing to do is divide the 42.6 acres into 3 lots, and we'll look at the plat in just a moment. I already mentioned the combination of the zonings. The parcel extends from, I guess if you go ahead and scroll on up one to the map, this is the wrong one, so keep going till we find the correct. Third, it'll be page 15. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is Hurt Road. This is the 42.6 acres. Wallace Lane is over here. You'll know this is sort of an industrial area. This purple area will indicate the industrial zone. Not sure why there's a C3 strip right through here, but there is. And this color, and then the very frontage is zoned C1. So they're proposing to break that into 3 lots, and planning packet page 17 will give you an indication of the lot. You can leave it right there. This is the lot superimposed on the site with a lot to the rear and 2 lots to the south of a road. A street would be constructed into the site and terminated in a cul-de-sac on the proposed subdivision. So this is preliminary. Several of the things that you would be concerned with, certainly hearing what the intention of the site is. I'm assuming that these lots will accommodate very large warehouse-type facilities that have been constructed and are being constructed in the vicinity. But we can certainly ask the applicant. You'll note that the site is heavily wooded, and the City of Horn Lake has a tree mitigation ordinance. We'll have to work through all of that before any cutting of any tree on that site. And then, of course, once the trees come down and the site is graded, there will be substantial stormwater matters that have to be managed. And he's asking, I should say he, the applicant is asking for preliminary approval so we could discuss any or all of those questions. I just listed on the report there just some of the technical documentation of a preliminary plat. I did solicit comments from Fire, Public Works, and Engineering, and I have not heard back from those comments yet. I would suggest that the preliminary plat proceed to the Board of Aldermen. The ordinance is really unclear if a preliminary plat should go to the Mayor and Board of Aldermen, but given the size and scope of what we're dealing with here, I'm going to suggest that this one, after your action, proceed to the, should you move to approve it, proceed to the Mayor and Board of Aldermen for final action. So that's an overview, 42.6 acres, Hurt Road. The 85% of it is owned industrial, light industrial M1. Likely use would be a distribution center of some sort. I will also mention one other thing. I was wanting to get the engineer's comment on this. The street cross section they're showing there is 50-foot right of way, and I'm not sure what street curb to curb would be. We probably will need to ensure between now and the final first of all, we'll get the engineer's comments, is that adequate? And we'll need some indication, at some point of the kind of trucks and turning movements, associated with this site. And then the improvement of Hurt Road, so that there can be improvement, meaning adding a lane, a minimum of one, so that we can get cars passing through here and get people turned into the site properly. So that's an overview. Again, preliminary approval, 42.6 acres on industrial, 3 lots.
Okay. Does any of the commissioners have questions for Mr. Barber?
I have a
I've got
question.
a couple of questions there, if you don't mind, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's showing they're gonna put in a road on the, I believe that's right along the edge there, going back all the way from Hurt Road.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it shows a 24-foot road.
I think they show a 50-foot right-of-way.
Yeah.
I don't see the 24-foot
Well, I'm
indicate
looking
what's
through this
that.
magnifying glass.
Typically, in a 50-foot right-of-way, a 30-foot road is placed.
Yeah, and is that road gonna be a dedicated road? In other words, is it gonna be named for Horn Lake, or is it gonna be a private road?
It would be a public street, yes, sir.
All right, it would have to be set up to meet the standards of Horn Lake, is that not right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, is it gonna be set up to take care of 18-wheelers, or is it gonna be set up for cars?
Well, we're gonna need to have the applicant address that. I mean, this will be trucks and cars. I'm sure the employees will be in cars,
Yeah.
but there'll be lots of deliveries in trucks. That's why I mentioned we need the city engineer to provide his opinion on this, and we will likely need the applicant to provide us a traffic justification for this street size.
All right, are they gonna have curbs and gutters on that road?
That would be required.
Because there is gonna be pedestrian traffic.
Yes, yes, sir. Curbs and gutters are required, as is a sidewalk.
All right, and then who's gonna help pay for that Hurt Road bring it up to Grayton?
That would be, the applicant would have to fund the improvement of Hurt Road.
Take care of all the improvement on Hurt?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
any other questions from any of the other commissioners?
Yes, on Nell Road, would that be the entire length, I'm sorry, Hurt Road, would that be the entire length of the road?
No, ma'am, it would be his frontage. I keep saying his, I don't know that it's a he. It would be the applicant's frontage.
Okay,
That would be required. If there are other improvements in that right-of-way, perhaps extending northward somewhat, the engineer would have to determine it, and the applicant could certainly only improve what's in the public right-of-way. So
okay, yeah.
it's
I'm just
possible that
concerned-
it could extend north some to accommodate a turn lane and whatnot.
Right, and that road is so narrow anyway.
Yes.
The entire length of it, and then, dumps into Nell Road on the south, so that going toward the interstate, that road going toward the interstate is awful small too.
It is,
So-
yes, yes.
If we're gonna have a lot of, trucks going down through there, it
Yeah.
might be something that we need to take under consideration.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
when you through. Also on the east side down there, going into Wallace Road, Wallace Street,
Yes, sir.
what's that gonna do to the businesses that's already there?
They're not proposing any access to Wallace Lane, which would
Right.
be probably a mess if they did. They're proposing this.
Because I know according to this map, it's showing you all the way down to Wallace Lane there.
It does, Mr. Dixon, and they will have to provide, the ordinance calls, when they plan the individual sites, they will have to provide a buffer yard of some sort, which would be a landscaped barrier around the perimeter of their lots. So, to the north is sort of a salvage yard type
Right,
environment.
yeah.
To the south is.
Well, you got a record company and
Right, they-
Shannon Brothers down that way too.
Right, and they're probably gonna wanna screen that out. I'm assuming their new construction will
Yeah.
be of a higher character.
I knew there's another business or two in there in addition to what we just talked about, so.
They'll have to be screened and buffered according to the ordinance when they propose to build the building. And by the way, each of those buildings will be before the commission for site review.
Okay.
And I do have a question, real quick, is that, but we're not changing the zoning currently, it's just, this is just a preliminary, the zonings are gonna stay the same.
Yes, sir, that's correct. And
Okay.
that zoning is, if you have your printouts or your color maps there, you'll see the, kind of how the,
Yeah, the C, yeah, I mean, I see the C1, C3, and the M1, that's all I was checking to make sure that at this time that we're not changing anything. Okay.
no, sir.
Any other questions for Mr. Barber? All right, do we have the applicants here? You know, just come up to the podium, just state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Jim Shumpert with the Reeves Firm in Memphis, Tennessee, and we are the engineers for the applicant.
Okay. All right, do y'all have any questions for the applicant or for the representative of the applicant?
Yes.
All right,
I think I have two items. Do you happen to know, basically, right now, which way the water's gonna drain from this property?
And I don't, we do, but I don't.
Okay.
I've been involved in this pretty late.
Okay. Secondly, whenever you, put your roadway in there, I'm gonna highly recommend that you put an egress apron, per se, at the entrance or the exit, because Hurt Road is so narrow. If you get a 70-foot truck trying to come out of there on a 24-foot road, I think he's gonna have a hard time doing it. So maybe you could open it up a little bit, give him a better chance to round that corner, either way he's gonna go. But I see nothing but trouble if you don't. Okay, that's all I got.
Any other questions from the commissioners?
Well, I understand that y'all gonna improve Hurt Road, where we'd actually have a third lane now, is that not right,
No,
Brother Barber?
I'm making an assumption that the engineer is gonna require that based on the other, construction out here on Nail Road and the other requirements that have been made. I'm, virtually certain that they will have to improve Hurt Road, so.
but just in front of their frontage, not the entire street. I want to make sure that he understands it's just in front of their frontage, as far as we know.
That, well, it would, yes, sir, it would be their frontage and in association with that turn-in. Now,
Yeah.
that, I could see a scenario where that improvement would have to go, north of the current property line,
Yeah.
but within the public right of way.
Okay.
Because the cove entrance is on the very north end of that land.
Okay.
The only other thing I had was, like I said, I read here a 24-foot road, and you're talking about big trucks as well as cars. 24 ain't gonna get it. It's just not wide enough.
No, it would be a 30-foot road within a
30 foot?
50-foot right of way, yes, sir.
You gonna put gutters and sidewalks in? You are
That's
gonna have
correct.
pedestrians.
Yes.
I just don't want the city to come up 5 years from now and pay for sidewalks and curbs. I got no other questions and no complaints.
All right, any other questions from commissioners for the applicant? All right, do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we allow it to be done. I don't know how you pronounce it or say it. I didn't read it. Be approved.
Did you make a motion?
He's in the middle of making a motion.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where it's read it. Go ahead and make it.
He's letting you, he's gonna let you.
Yeah, go ahead and make it.
I'll make a motion that, accept the, site plan as noted
The preliminary
with
subdivision.
possible, discussion on the, exceptions.
Okay, which exceptions would that mean?
Second.
Well, the exception would be the,
Streets
I
and
know
drainage.
different groups are gonna look at it, but the water drainage
Right.
and the, entrance of your road, I think should have a wide area. And, I presume that was all.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the preliminary subdivision, with the conditions of, engineering, the engineer's comments, and other recommendations from staff. And we have a second. I guess we need roll call.
And also, add in there that, the comments from the fire, public works as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, Mr. Dixon,
Who?
Yes or no?
Yes. I can't hear when she calls me.
Mr. Yeager is absent. Angie Little, yes. Linda McGinn,
Yes.
Jay Stapleton,
Yes.
Jimmy Stokes, absent. Janice Vidal,
No.
All right, we have one no and four yeses
2 absents.
and 2 absent. So the motion is passed. Gentlemen, thank y'all.
Thank you.
And y'all will need to, the next step would be go to the mayor and alderman meeting in 2 weeks. Is that correct?
It would be their second meeting. in
November,
so
whatever
it would
that
be the
is.
third Tuesday in November.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right, thank y'all. All right, let me see if I can figure out where we're at now. On my paperwork now. All right, now we're on to letter C, site planning and design review, case number 2053 SP for up church building addition site plan review at 6923 Pasadena Drive. Mr. Barber.
Yes, sir. This is for Upchurch Plumbing. They're adding on to a building. John Mark, this is on page 5, planning packet, page 5. That's where it starts. So what I've provided you is the design standards for, now this is an industrial building, so the design standards are relaxed somewhat. They are expanding their existing building, which is about 5,000 square feet, just under, and they're expanding it to add an additional almost 7,000 square feet. So by the time we're done, we'll go from roughly 4,800 square feet to just under 11,000 square feet of building. They'll be covering over some existing parking spaces, but they're expanding parking to the rear. We'll look at the site plan in just a moment. It is zone M1. What I did is, the way I do this is I just take all these design standards, show you the standard in the table there on the left-hand side, and then on the right, I either say it's not applicable, it complies, or it does not comply. And by the way, do we have an applicant? Are you representing this? Okay. So this is, most of these items are not applicable because it's an industrial building. So if you scroll on down to the purple, item F for industrial zoning districts, you'll see there that in green, 3 of those items comply and 1 of them needs a calculation, and I'll tell you what the calculation we need is in just a moment. So, John Mark, if you'll scroll on down just one more page, keep going. There we go. This is the building. This is the existing building in the rear. They're adding on this section right here. This is a 6,800 or so square feet. They're going to match the exterior of the existing building, which is sort of a split-face block. And if you'll scroll down one more, this will give you the red here is what they're adding on, where they're covering the parking, but you'll note that they're adding parking to the rear back here. So that's really of no consequence. And then you'll also note that they have shown a landscaping plan. They'll have to landscape out in front of the building, and that's indicated on this plan. If you'll skip to one more. So this is a calculation we need. This is the building, the wall that faces to the east. the east elevation, and the standard is 20% of a street-facing, a street-facing wall must have 20% of the wall as windows. So you can't just have a solid wall facing the street. It has to have certain transparency. I don't know what the calculation is. They are showing windows. I don't know if you can run it real quick or tell me if it's 20%. But regardless, your standard is 20%, and we don't have the calculation. So if you want to approve it, subject to making sure there's adequate windows there, I'm totally fine with that.
Okay. So does any of the commissioners have questions for Mr. Barber?
I guess the existing building's probably been there for a long time, 30 years. I mean, it's a well-established, business.
Well, if we have the representative for the applicant come up, state your name.
Chairman and Board, Ben Smith, 2700 Stonebrook, Nesbit. We will not be asking for a variance on the 20%, so we will meet the 20% requirement for as the percentage of windows on the side that faces the street. So this is something the architect, it's AERC is the architects, Al Hernander, and they're quite familiar with what's required. I'll see.
It may meet it, I just don't have.
I don't have any idea, so, but we will meet the 20%.
Any questions from the
They're
commission?
expanding, they're just expanding the business. Their business is growing so much. And I'll be back with you next month. They're actually gonna build a warehouse on another lot real close by, so they're expanding
That's
business.
just gonna be in addition to the administrative services at the business, isn't it?
That's correct. They're gonna build a warehouse at another location
Yeah.
in Horn Lake.
Any other questions from anybody? All right, well, do we have a motion?
Yes, I would move to approve the application pending the 20%, that they meet the 20% windows on the front of the building.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Roll call, please.
Dixon?
Yes,
Yeager? Absent. Little, yes. Linda McGann?
Yes.
Jay Stapleton?
Yes.
Jimmy Stokes? Janice Vidal?
Yes.
Okay, that passed unanimously. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
thank you.
No, it's done.
All right, Mr. Barber, do you have anything else? I don't have anything else on my list.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I don't. Just let you know that the planner that the city hired is supposed to be here at some point in the next 30 days or so. So, just to give you that update.
All right, we appreciate it. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is, the meeting is adjourned. Thank everyone for showing up. We appreciate y'all being here.